Have you ever stood up and felt your legs wobble? Like your knees just aren't holding you the way they used to? Or maybe you've had a sharp cramp strike in the middle of the night, leaving your legs sore and your sleep interrupted? If that sounds familiar, you're not alone. George, age 74, used to feel the same way. He thought it was just part of getting older. Weaker legs, slower steps, more aches by the day. But one simple question from his doctor changed everything. Can you tell me what fruits you're eating every day? Surprised? So was George, because what he learned next turned his idea of a healthy diet upside down. It turns out that some fruits, yes, even fruits, can quietly weaken your legs over time. As we age, our bodies process sugar, acids, and minerals differently. That means certain fruits, though nutritious in some ways, can actually trigger inflammation, drain your muscle strength, or throw off your body's delicate balance. And the worst part? You might be eating them every single day. Without realizing, they're making your legs more tired, more cramp-prone, and less stable. So in today's video, we're going to gently reveal the 7 surprising fruits that may be silently working against your leg strength. And don't worry, we won't leave you hanging. We'll also show you what to eat instead to stay mobile, balanced, and confident. And here's something special. If you stick with us to the very end, we'll share a bonus tip. A delicious fruit that actually supports leg strength and circulation, backed by real science. You might already have it in your fridge, and it could become your new favorite daily habit. Let's take the first step and together. Welcome to Senior Health and Happiness, where we believe that aging can be graceful, strong, and joyful. Let's take care of your health, one simple habit at a time. And make sure to stay until the very end. We've included a gentle bonus tip that could make your daily routine even better. Today's topic is one that surprises many people. How certain fruits, though often considered healthy, can quietly weaken your leg strength as you age. You see, after 60, your body begins to change in subtle but important ways. Your muscles may lose some of their natural tone. Your circulation may slow down, and your body's ability to manage sugar, absorb minerals, and filter out inflammation begins to shift. What does this mean for your legs? It means that the foods you once handled with ease, including some popular fruits, might now be making things just a little harder. Harder to stay balanced, harder to avoid cramps, harder to keep up your stamina. Let's be clear, fruits are not the enemy, but not all fruits are equally helpful for seniors. Some are high in sugars that spike and crash your energy. Others interfere with the balance of nutrients your muscles and joints depend on. This video is not about fear or restriction. It's about awareness. Because once you know what's working against you, you can make small, simple adjustments that protect your strength and independence. And best of all, you don't have to give up sweetness or satisfaction. We'll show you safer swaps and healthier fruit habits that still taste great and support your body's changing needs. So if you've been wondering why your legs feel a little weaker, or why those evening cramps just won't go away, stick with us. You're about to learn what to avoid and what to enjoy, so your legs can keep supporting the life you love. Let's begin. Tip 1. Martha's nightly muscle cramps and the citrus connection. Martha, 69, was always careful about what she ate. She loved starting her evening wind down with a glass of fresh orange juice. It felt like a healthy choice, full of vitamin C, light and refreshing. But something strange kept happening. Almost every night she'd wake up with a sharp cramp in her legs, sometimes in her calf, other times in her feet. She'd have to sit up, massage the tight muscle, and wait for the pain to ease before falling back asleep. At first, she chalked it up to aging. This is just what happens after 60, she thought. But when the cramps started interrupting her sleep more often, Martha decided to ask her doctor. The answer surprised her. Her nightly orange juice, though filled with nutrients, was also high in acidity, and that acidity was quietly affecting her body's mineral balance, especially magnesium, a mineral that helps relax muscles. Here's the science in simple terms. Citrus fruits like oranges, grapefruits, and even tangerines are high in potassium and vitamin C, both important nutrients. But for some older adults, especially those already low in magnesium. The high acid load from these fruits can interfere with the absorption or retention of magnesium. And when your body doesn't have enough magnesium, your muscles are more likely to tighten, especially at night. Have you ever had a cramp in the middle of the night? That deep, painful squeeze that jolts you awake? It's not always about stretching or movement. Sometimes it's about hydration and minerals, especially magnesium. So what can you do? If you love citrus, you don't have to give it up entirely. Just try to avoid drinking orange juice or eating acidic fruits late in the day. Instead, enjoy them earlier, with breakfast or lunch, and consider replacing that evening glass with a warm herbal tea or water infused with a slice of cucumber or mint. Even more helpful? Add magnesium-rich foods to your day, like pumpkin seeds, almonds, or a small serving of leafy greens. These quiet little changes can make a big difference. Martha did exactly that. Within a week, her nighttime cramps eased. She slept better, woke up feeling more rested, and felt more confident moving around during the day. Have you experienced nighttime cramps lately? Could your evening routine and your fruit choices that be playing a role? Sometimes the path to relief starts with one small change. Tip 2. George's banana overload. George, 74, had always believed bananas were the ultimate healthy snack. They were easy to eat, filled him up, and reminded him of the fruit bowls his wife used to make. Every morning he'd slice one into his cereal, and by afternoon he'd eat another one while reading the paper. 2 bananas a day. What could go wrong? But recently, George started noticing something odd. His legs felt heavy when walking upstairs. By mid-afternoon, he was dragging his feet, not from tiredness, but from a strange kind of muscle fatigue. Even worse, he began to feel bloated and uncomfortable after meals. When he mentioned it to his doctor during a routine checkup, she asked a simple question: "How often are you eating bananas?" George laughed and said, "Every day, twice." His doctor nodded and gently explained something he hadn't considered. Bananas, while healthy in moderation, are high in both sugar and potassium. And for seniors, too much potassium without the right sodium balance can actually cause muscle fatigue and cramping. Plus, the natural sugar in bananas, about 14 grams per fruit, can lead to spikes and crashes in blood sugar, which drain your energy and leave your legs feeling weak. Here's a gentle breakdown of the science. Your muscles need a delicate balance of electrolytes to function properly, mainly potassium, sodium, magnesium, and calcium. When one of those, like potassium, is too high, especially without enough sodium or magnesium to balance it, your muscle cells can't contract and relax the way they should. The result? You feel sluggish, unstable, and even shaky on your feet. Have you ever felt like your legs just don't want to move with you? Like they're behind the rest of your body? That heaviness or loss of control could be linked to an imbalance inside, not just aging. So what did George do? He didn't give up bananas entirely, but he did scale back. Instead of 2, he now eats half a banana in the morning and pairs it with a small handful of unsalted almonds or a boiled egg. This combo gives him energy, protein, and a better balance of electrolytes, all without the sugar spike. Another tip: drink plenty of water when eating fruits high in potassium. Hydration helps your kidneys flush out excess minerals and keeps everything in smoother balance. Within a week of adjusting his fruit habits, George noticed a difference. His afternoon leg fatigue was gone, and he had more energy for his evening walks. All it took was listening to what his body had been quietly trying to say. Have you been eating bananas daily without thinking about it? Could a simple shift in how and when you eat fruit help your legs feel lighter and stronger? Sometimes it's not about eating less. It's about eating smarter. Tip 3. Linda's grapes and blood sugar swings. Linda, 70, had a comforting evening routine. She'd sit on the couch with her knitting, a warm blanket over her legs, and a bowl of grapes within reach. It felt like a healthy choice. After all, grapes are fruit, and fruit is good for you, right? But over time, Linda started noticing something strange. Around 9 p.m., she'd feel jittery, her heart would beat faster, and she'd get a wave of restlessness. By bedtime, that energy would crash into fatigue, and in the morning, her legs often felt weak and unsteady. She assumed it was just the ups and downs of aging. Then one day, her daughter, a nurse, visited and gently asked what snacks she'd been having in the evening. When Linda proudly shared her grape habit, her daughter paused. "Mom," she said, "grapes are healthy, but they're also high in sugar. And if you eat a lot at once, it could be messing with your blood sugar." It turns out grapes contain a type of natural sugar called glucose that's quickly absorbed into the bloodstream. A small handful is fine, but a whole bowl? That's enough to spike your blood sugar, especially if you're not pairing it with anything else. And here's what the science says. When your blood sugar rises too fast, your body rushes to bring it back down by releasing insulin. But if it drops too low, you're left feeling drained, dizzy, and shaky. This roller coaster is especially hard on seniors, because as we age, our bodies become more sensitive to these swings. For muscles, especially those in your legs, stable blood sugar is essential. Why? Because your muscles rely on a steady stream of energy to stay strong, responsive, and coordinated. When that energy source crashes, your legs feel weaker, like the power's been unplugged. So what did Linda do? She didn't give up fruit altogether. Instead, she swapped her nightly bowl of grapes for a smaller portion, just 6 or 7 grapes, and paired them with a few spoonfuls of cottage cheese. The protein in the cottage cheese helped slow down the sugar absorption, and within days, her energy leveled out. Her legs felt steadier in the morning, and she even started walking around the block again. Another great combo she discovered was berries and a handful of walnuts. Less sugar, more antioxidants, and healthy fats for joint support. Have you been snacking on fruit at night without thinking twice? Try noticing how your body feels after, especially your legs, your energy, and your sleep. Sometimes the problem isn't the fruit itself, it's how much we eat and what we eat it with. And with a small shift, you can nourish your body in a way that truly supports your strength. Tip 4. Tom and the dried fruit trap. Tom, 72, had always considered himself a healthy eater. He skipped candy, limited red meat, and swapped out cookies for what he believed was a better alternative: dried fruit. Raisins on his cereal, dried. Apricots in his lunchbox, and the occasional handful of cranberries as a snack while reading the newspaper. "It's fruit," he would say proudly. "What could go wrong?" But over the months, something started to feel off. Tom noticed his knees felt tighter. His hips ached more after his daily walk, and his fingers were stiff in the mornings. At first he thought it was just old age. But then his rheumatologist asked him to list his daily meals, and paused at the dried fruit. Here's what she explained. Dried fruits are concentrated sources of natural sugar. When fruit is dried, the water is removed but all the sugar remains, and becomes even more dense. That handful of raisins? It's like eating a full bunch of grapes, but in one sitting. What's more, many commercial dried fruits are treated with sulfur-based preservatives like sulfites to keep them fresh-looking and extend shelf life. While these are safe in small amounts, some people, especially older adults, may be more sensitive to them. For seniors, this can quietly trigger inflammation, joint pain, and even headaches or digestive upset. And here's the deeper issue. Too much sugar, even from fruit, can lead to chronic low-grade inflammation. This affects your joints, your circulation, and your ability to recover from even mild activity. When your body is constantly fighting this inflammation, it doesn't have the energy or resources to maintain strong, healthy muscles, especially in your legs. So what did Tom do? With the guidance of his doctor, he replaced dried fruits with fresh options, apple slices with peanut butter or half a banana with cinnamon. He also started reading labels more carefully and choosing unsulfured versions when he did want dried fruit, in much smaller amounts. But the biggest change came when he began pairing fruits with protein or healthy fats. Instead of raisins, in his yogurt, he added fresh berries and a sprinkle of flaxseed. Instead of snacking on dried mango, he had a boiled egg and cucumber slices. Within 2 weeks, Tom noticed a difference. Less joint stiffness, more ease when getting out of bed, and he could walk farther without his hips protesting. So here's something to ask yourself. Do you eat a lot of dried fruit thinking it's healthier than other snacks? You're not alone. It's an easy mistake. But by choosing fresh, whole fruits and balancing them with protein or fat, you're not just avoiding sugar spikes. You're actively protecting your legs, your joints, your independence. Small swaps can lead to big changes, and Tom is proof of that. Tip 5. Anna's pineapple pains. Anna, 70, started every morning with a bright, juicy bowl of pineapple. She loved the tropical taste. It felt like a fresh, happy start to her day. And she'd heard it was good for digestion and inflammation, so she felt confident in her choice. But over the past few months, Anna began to notice something. Her knees ached when she walked down the stairs. Her elbows felt sore after light housework, and the pain seemed worse in the mornings, right after breakfast. At first, she blamed it on arthritis. After all, she thought, isn't joint pain just part of getting older? But during a wellness visit, her doctor asked a question that surprised her. How often are you eating pineapple? Anna blinked. Every day. Here's what the doctor explained. Pineapple does have health benefits. It contains bromelain, a natural enzyme that can help with inflammation in small amounts. But it's also highly acidic and rich in certain fruit sugars that, when consumed daily in excess, may irritate sensitive tissues. For some seniors, especially those with joint issues, that acid load can worsen inflammation and stiffness instead of helping it. Plus, pineapple can act as a mild histamine releaser, triggering small inflammatory responses in people who are already sensitive. So what feels like random knee pain might actually be your body reacting to a food it's had too much of. And since aging muscles and joints are already more delicate, even slight inflammation can lead to discomfort, swelling, or reduced mobility. So what did Anna do? She didn't give up pineapple entirely. She loved it too much. Instead, she made it a sometimes food, not an everyday one. She enjoyed it once or twice a week, paired it with anti-inflammatory choices like turmeric tea or avocado toast, and always followed it with water. She also added more low-acid fruits to her mornings, like papaya or cooked apples with cinnamon. And within 2 weeks, Anna felt the difference. Less knee pain, easier mornings, and a better sense of control over her body's signals. If you've been eating pineapple or other acidic fruits daily, take a moment to reflect. Could those morning aches be your body asking for a little less acid, a little more balance? Remember, healthy eating isn't just about what's good on paper. It's about how your unique body responds. And for Anna, making this small shift gave her back something bigger: comfort, confidence, and her joyful morning walks. Pain-free. Tip 6. Robert's apple a day. Backfired Robert, 72, was a firm believer in the old saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Every morning he'd slice up a crisp apple and enjoy it with breakfast. Later in the day he'd often snack on another, sometimes even a third if he felt a bit hungry between meals. He felt proud of his choice. After all, apples are healthy, right? They're full of fiber, antioxidants, and have long been associated with heart health. But over time, Robert began noticing subtle changes. His legs felt heavier. His ankles would swell slightly by the evening. And even though he wasn't gaining weight, his knees felt stiff and uncomfortable after sitting for a while. He chalked it up to just aging, until his daughter, a nutritionist, suggested looking closer at his fruit intake. Specifically, the apples. She explained something many seniors don't know. While apples are a good source of fiber and vitamin C, they're also very high in fructose, a natural fruit sugar. And when eaten in excess, especially without protein or fat to slow absorption, fructose can contribute to water retention, blood sugar swings, and even low-grade inflammation. Robert was shocked. He had always thought of apples as the safest snack, but eating 3 a day, especially without balancing them out, was giving his body more sugar than it needed. On top of that, his daughter noted that some people, especially as they age, develop sensitivities to apple skins. Those skins, while full of fiber, can irritate the gut, or contribute to bloating in individuals with slower digestion. For Robert, that meant more swelling and discomfort, especially in his lower legs, so he made a few gentle changes. He reduced his apple intake to 1 small apple per day. He peeled the skin and ate it alongside a spoonful of almond butter or a piece of cheese. And on some days, he swapped the apple out entirely for half a pear or a few slices of melon. The results were subtle but steady. His legs felt lighter, the evening puffiness faded, and his joints felt more comfortable after long walks with his wife. Robert didn't stop eating fruit. He just learned to listen to his body and give it what it truly needed, not just what he'd always assumed was healthy. So if you've been eating apples every day, maybe even more than one, take a moment to check in with your body. Have your legs been feeling a little stiff or heavy? Could your apple habit be a little too much of a good thing? Remember, even the healthiest foods can have side effects when not balanced well. And sometimes, the key to feeling better isn't cutting something out completely. It's adjusting with care and kindness. Tip 7. Watermelon and weak legs in summer. During the hot summer months, Robert, 75, found himself reaching for big bowls of watermelon. It was cool, juicy, and refreshing, the perfect treat after a walk or an afternoon of gardening. He felt like he was doing something good for his health by staying hydrated with fruit. But as the days went on, Robert noticed something strange. He felt more tired in the afternoons, and sometimes his legs felt shaky when he stood up from his chair. He even had a few dizzy spells that made him pause. At first, he thought it was just the heat, but after talking to his doctor, he learned there was more to it. Watermelon, while delicious and hydrating, is mostly water and natural sugar, especially fructose. It has very little fiber, protein, or sodium. For seniors, this combination can be tricky. Here's why. When you eat a large portion of watermelon, it acts as a natural diuretic. It causes you to urinate more frequently, which might feel cleansing at first. But in reality, it can flush out important electrolytes, like sodium and magnesium, much faster than your body can replace them. For older adults, losing too much sodium can lead to an electrolyte imbalance. This can cause symptoms like leg cramps, muscle weakness, low blood pressure, and even dizziness. Exactly what Robert was experiencing. The sugar in watermelon also gets absorbed quickly into the bloodstream. If not paired with protein or fat, it can spike your blood sugar followed by a sudden drop. That crash can leave your legs feeling weak and your energy drained, especially in the middle of the day. Robert didn't want to give up his favorite summer fruit. So with his doctor's advice, he made 2 small changes. First, he reduced his portion size. Instead of a giant bowl, he had just a cup or so at a time. Second, he began eating watermelon after a salty snack or protein-rich meal, like a handful of nuts or a hard-boiled egg. He also started adding a tiny pinch of sea salt to his watermelon bowl. It enhanced the flavor and helped replenish the sodium his body needed to stay balanced. Within a week, Robert felt a difference. The dizzy spells stopped. His legs felt more stable, and he could enjoy his favorite fruit without sacrificing his strength. If you're someone who loves watermelon or other high-water fruits like cantaloupe or honeydew, that's okay. Just be mindful of when and how much you eat. Pair it with protein or salt. And remember, even healthy fruits can throw your body off balance if they're not part of a thoughtful routine. Have you ever felt weak or dizzy after eating fruit on a hot day? Maybe now you know why. And with just a few adjustments, you can enjoy your favorites, while keeping your legs strong, steady, and ready to support you all summer long. The hidden sugar link to muscle weakness. Let's take a deeper look at something most people don't realize: how natural sugar in fruit, even the kind that seems healthy, can quietly weaken your legs over time. George, one of our viewers, loved bananas and grapes. He believed they were fueling his body with energy and vitamins, but he often felt sluggish during his morning walks, and sometimes his legs trembled when climbing stairs. It didn't make sense, until he learned what those natural sugars were doing inside his body. Here's what happens when you eat fruit that's high in natural sugar, like grapes, bananas, or dried fruits, your blood sugar rises quickly. Your body reacts by releasing insulin to bring it back down. That sudden rise and fall can leave you feeling weak, shaky, or foggy, especially if it happens often. But there's more. Repeated sugar spikes lead to inflammation, a process where your body feels like it's constantly under attack. And chronic inflammation damages the nerves and blood vessels that supply your leg muscles with oxygen and nutrients. Over time, this can contribute to muscle fatigue, slower recovery, and weaker movement. On top of that, sugar causes your kidneys to flush out important minerals like magnesium and calcium. These are the very nutrients your muscles need to contract, relax, and stay cramp-free. So when you lose them, your muscles don't perform as well, and your legs are the first to suffer. But here's the good news. You don't need to give up fruit entirely. The key is balance. One powerful habit you can try today is to pair fruit with protein or healthy fat. For example, if you enjoy apple slices, try them with peanut butter. If you like grapes, eat a small handful alongside some cottage cheese or a boiled egg. This pairing slows down how quickly the sugar enters your bloodstream, which protects your energy, your balance, and your leg strength. Think of it like this. Fruit is the spark, but protein and fat are the brakes. Together, they create a smooth ride for your body, not a roller coaster. For George, simply adding a protein snack alongside his fruit made a huge difference. He felt more energized on his walks. His legs didn't wobble as much on stairs, and he regained confidence in his body's strength. If you've been eating fruit by itself, especially in the morning or as a snack, try this shift. It's gentle, realistic, and incredibly effective. And most importantly, it respects the way your body changes after 60. Your legs are more than just muscles. They're your freedom, your mobility, your connection to the world. Give them the fuel they need, and they'll keep you strong, steady, and independent for years to come. The one fruit that actually boosts leg strength. Now that we've talked about the fruits that may be quietly weakening your legs, let's shift to something more uplifting, a fruit that actually does the opposite. Meet the humble blueberry. Unlike many other fruits that are high in sugar or acidity, blueberries are gentle on your body and powerful in their benefits. They're naturally low in sugar, packed with antioxidants, and rich in compounds that support blood flow, reduce inflammation, and protect your muscles from stress. In fact, studies show that older adults who regularly eat blueberries experience improvements in balance, memory, and muscle recovery. That's because blueberries help reduce oxidative damage, the type of internal rusting that happens as we age. This damage can affect the cells that power your muscles and keep your legs strong, but blueberries don't stop there. They also support circulation by strengthening the lining of your blood vessels. Better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reach your leg muscles, which translates into more energy, better mobility, and faster healing after activity. And the best part? They're easy to enjoy. George now sprinkles a few blueberries on his oatmeal each morning. Linda blends them into a smoothie with yogurt and spinach, and Tom keeps a small bowl in the fridge for an afternoon snack instead of cookies or dried fruit. You don't need a lot, just a small serving 3 to 4 times a week can create noticeable changes in your energy and movement. Think of blueberries as nature's leg medicine, tiny, delicious, and remarkably effective. So if you're looking for one fruit to add to your routine, one that truly supports your strength, balance, and independence, make it blueberries. It's a simple shift, but a powerful one, and a perfect way to reward yourself for staying through this journey. Your legs and your future self will thank you. Thank you for spending your time with Senior Health and Happiness. Until next time, stay strong, stay curious, and most of all, stay kind to yourself. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and share it with someone you care about. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. What's one small habit you're adding to your daily routine? Your story might inspire someone else. Before you go, let's pause to reflect on everything we've covered today. You've learned that some fruits, even ones we often think of as healthy, can quietly work against your body after 60. They can trigger inflammation, mess with your mineral balance, or spike your blood sugar, leaving your legs weaker, and it's reliable. But you also discovered simple, hopeful changes. You now know what to reduce and what to enjoy more often. Like the blueberry, your new best friend in supporting circulation, strength, and stability. So here's your gentle challenge. Take a fresh look at your fruit basket. Swap just one item this week. Replace that second banana or that handful of grapes with something your body will thank you for. Because when your legs feel strong, everything feels easier. Walking to the mailbox, standing up from a chair, climbing the stairs with confidence, and it starts with small choices. One bowl, one bite, one better decision at a time. Aging, well, isn't about giving things up. It's about learning what supports you best and leaning into it with kindness. You've already taken the first step. We're honored to walk the rest with you.